Around Australia and indeed around the world, various places have put up the barricades against the humble plastic bag. But now it appears that the tide is turning and a backlash has begun against simply bagging the bag. Wart and Vince Greentree's works have been brought here, along with other art and stories from families and carers, for an exhibition called Journeys with Schizophrenia. It's all inspired by the death of a young man called Matthew Dysart, who lived with his illness for 15 years. But in recent years, those who depend on it have been going through some tough times. The beekeeping industry has been hit by drought, bushfire, low honey prices, and even problems getting access to national park and reserves. But there's one small intruder which they say could damage much more than just their business.
In this special report, Christopher Zinn investigates what business is doing to save one of our most precious commodities.
The big water savings may come from tweaking some thirsty industrial processes. But while commercial premises may not seem quite as exciting, there are an awful lot of offices. And at least one property empire is doing its bit to make sure it's not wasting money or water.
But as Christopher Zinn reports, the digital dogfight has changed more than just the way you can get your music.
The many aspects of the digital delivery system have affected the music business like no other. And the changes that you see at the retail level are really just the start of it. The mayhem that struck Cronulla that hot, drunken Sunday was really just the start. Within hours came a violent and indiscriminate retribution that went far beyond these beaches. The perpetrators were described as men of Middle Eastern appearance, and it all left many to ask the question, how on earth had it got to this?
All right, well, let's go back to Canberra now and the traditional start to January in the national capital, the Summer Nats. And with us once more, reporter Christopher Zinn. I think I stuffed up that word last time. And Summer Nats organiser Chick Henry, and I understand that Chick is responsible for all this noise and action and good fun.
I know, and a few people in Canberra might want to string him up for that too.
Somebody say that I'm to blame for it all.
But first of all, this isn't a car show. I think that's the one thing you want to say, and especially seeing we're alongside a boat.
Yes, Christopher, it's more like a festival than a car show, and a festival is a celebration as much about the people as it is the cars, and the Summer Nats is an opportunity for people to bring all sorts of creations to a place and show them off and show creativity and most of all have fun.
Well, let's have a bit of a show off. I mean, tell us about this.
Well, who would expect to see a boat at the Summer Nats, but this is on an L300 van chassis, and the boys are just going to have a cruise around, and already they were worried about what would happen when they brought a boat to the Summer Nats, but with all the smiles and waves and cheers and the attention they're getting, they're having a good time already.
It's doing great. I'm told it doesn't actually float. Now, this is a vehicle with a barbecue at the front and even something more extraordinary at the back.
Almost everything your heart desires can happen with this Cadillac Eldorado. We can have some breakfast here with the Barbie.